Who want one last trip to the long trail?
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to talk a little bit about the update that they just did and how great it is. I took a little bit of notes on some of the things that I like, some of the things that I dislike, and just some of the things that I like about Tekken 8 overall that I think is kind of just goes without mentioning. So I just want to mention it. If I leave out anything, feel free to comment down below because yeah, a lot of stuff is changing very rapidly. I'm only one person. Let me know. Before we get into this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're very close to 40,000 subscribers, and pressing that button could be a big help. Something that I just catch myself doing is just appreciating how good Tekken 8 looks. The sound, the environments, the background, the stages. Like, Tekken 8 has to be one of the best looking fighting games to be ever created. At times, Mortal Kombat 1, their scenery looks amazing, but Tekken 8 looks phenomenal always. I know people have their complaints about heat system effects and stuff like that, but me personally, I play games with more clutter on the screen, so I'm kind of used to it. So it usually doesn't bother me. There's only a couple of moves in the game where I'm like, okay, this is too much. But yeah, I kind of love how amazing the game looks. And then also another thing to note is the practice features. So many great things in there. And if you guys are new to the game, I really suggest you go and try out punishment training, throw training, watch your replays. Don't bother with the ghosts because the ghosts are absolutely useless. That has to be the biggest waste of money that Tekken 8 did, but everything else there is amazing. They have the online practice in the dojo area of the Tekken Lounge. On the topic of the lounge, I feel like it's currently not living up to its full potential, and I've been asking and begging the developers to add more to it so that it's really like even more magical. Like, for example, an area to watch live tournaments, or you can have a special event where you show up on this day and it's some kind of special kind of mode or tournament or something you can participate in. Maybe even some old Bandai Namco arcade games, put that into the lounge to let people experience it. Just something to make it feel a little bit more lively. But other than that, focusing solely on this update, some of the good things that I must mention, and the first one is the rematch with a new stage. This is something that I have been wanting for a very long time. The reason why not having random stage is cheap is because certain characters have an advantage over you. If you fight King on that deep in the subconscious, his heat smash and his grabs naturally break the floor. There's characters who naturally explode walls. Being able to switch the stage not only gives you the opportunity to even the playing field, but it's also allowed in tournaments. So to have this feature be baked into the game itself is really good. But an even better change is random select feature. This is something that Harada said he wanted to add to the game, and I don't know if he played a hand and it's showing up in this update, or if it's something that this Nakatu or the others decide to do. But this is such a good feature because a lot of people struggle playing on player 2 side, and now you could go into the settings of the game, you could pick your characters, and you could pick which side you want to be on, and you could switch it to random. And every time you go into practice mode or every time you go into a match, it constantly flips you back and forth, so you get experience on both sides. And I think that is such an important part of the game because you could tell when people can't play on player 2 side, and you could keep grabbing them even if they break the throw. You could put them on that side and put them at a disadvantage. So this is what I really love about Tekken. And when I first played Tekken Tag Tournament 2, it was really cool how like you had to play on both sides and it was part of the experience. That was lost for a very long time, but I'm happy that it's back, and I hope that they never get rid of that feature ever again. Now, obviously, one of the biggest standouts of this update and the last update is how they went after heat. This time around, they completely destroyed heat regen, and I think that that was a necessity because it didn't make any sense. You give people this very powerful mechanic, and then some characters could gain more of it. They can hit you and have full. It's cool that the developers are willing and able to walk back these decisions because it opens up the door and the possibilities for so much more to happen. I also love how they're coming down on the plus frames. A lot of these things that are like plus this, plus that, you're starting to see more minus and more neutral frames across the board. This just makes the game feels a little bit more fair, a little bit more rewarding, a little bit more like competitive game, and it's not just you fighting against the developer's plus frame move that you have no way to survive against. I love that. We need more of it. And another thing I wanted to say just real generally about season 3 is I love the season pass. This season pass, in my opinion, is the best one. I mean, I'm gonna be biased in saying that because you have Bob and you have Kunimitsu. Those are my two secondary characters from back in the day showing up. I love that. But then also you have a wild card character like Roger, which I think is gonna be exciting for a lot of people. And if it's done properly, can bring in a lot of new players. And fun fact, you guys can correct me on this. I'm no expert, but I think there was a boxing kangaroo kind of character in Baki, so that kind of connects as well for the people who like Yujiro and like Baki. They may see the kangaroo and they may be interested as well. But on the topic of Yujiro, that is a perfect way to end off the season. So many people were excited, so many people were happy. I can't say it enough, but this is absolutely fantastic. Another thing that I want to give praise to the developers for is the way that they've been handling what's been put onto the dev Discord portal. We first laughed at that, but then we found out real quickly that they're making serious changes there and they're taking real feedback there. And a lot of the garbage that's put there is being ignored. People are putting the craziest hot takes, if you go back and watch the video I made, on that Discord, and the developers are just completely ignoring it. And another thing that comes from the Discord portal is people reporting people. I made a video about that as well, of all the people that are being reported, and the developers acted on that. Right now, at the time of recording this video, there is 265 active bans. That may not sound like a lot, but trust me, that is a lot. Some temporary, some permanent. I was looking at the website and it was saying like, plugging, cheating, being offensive, and a lot of it was in the last 24 hours. And it's good to see that the developers are coming down on that, because once again, like, Tekken players take this very seriously, right? If someone's plugging out of a ranked match, we still want our rank points, by the way, but it's just good to see the developers like holding these guys a little bit more accountable when they're trying to misuse the game. Now, on that note, we gotta talk about the bad things about this update, or really like things that this update didn't do per se. Like, for example, these are just some of the names that I've seen thrown around, but players are very upset that King, Lydia, Alyssa, Dragunov, Lee, Brian, and Law have basically went untouched. Now, Law, he did get kind of jacked up in this update with the whole regen thing, but other than that, characters have like individual moves or stances or scenarios that is unfair, unfavorable, and players really want the developers to address that. This update was more so about Heat, so I'll give them a pass, but I know other people are sick of it. People are also requesting shorter combos, less tracking, and to remove a lot more of that unfair plus frames, because some characters can still put you in a situation and jack you up. And it just feels really unfair. It feels like it's not rewarding skill because you just have to guess. Two more things. One is the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass has a lot of reused stuff on it again. Very unfortunate. I don't know what's going on with the development team, where we saw them going in the right direction for a brief moment. You talk about maybe like Battle Pass 7, Battle Pass 8, but then Battle Pass 9 and the one we're on right now, 10, has just been huge steps back. So many reused stuff from characters like Leroy's pants, Brian's shoes, the female character's skirts. It's reused assets all over the place. And when you talk about a premium thing that people have to pay for, there's no way like players should have to deal with that. The Bandai Namco developers made us wait 130 days for a new battle pass just to give us recycled stuff. So that's not okay. That's not okay. And I don't know how to explain that to them so they could stop. The other thing that I kind of like and dislike is the new outfits for the female characters. Those are amazing, but what make me dislike them is just the general look of the female body proportions. Every time I look at the characters, I just see like huge shoulders, weird necks, their arms or calves aren't sized properly. And I was speaking to game developers and people who kind of like know how to make characters, and even they were saying like, yeah, it looks kind of weird. It's probably cooked for Tekken 8, but I hope in Tekken 9 they can go back to portraying the male and female characters a little bit better, because Tekken at one point in time was cooking. I know you guys probably seen screenshots of Tekken 5, Tag 2, and even Tekken 7 in some instances. But these are just some of the things that I personally think is important to talk about right now. We'll hear more about the game, see more about the game, and hopefully maybe all of you will play more of the game. That's it. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and bye bye.